Oh, that looks weird to have those. Those are from the other day. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Darcy, and I've decided I want to do a little bit of play / experimenting. So, we actually could probably go up a little bit because I'm not going to put the ink too close to me. Oh, yes, inks. We're going to be playing with inks. I want to see which combinations I like. It's part of the reason. And I'm going to be doing some stuff with collage too. So I've got some book pages here. And this is like, well, I don't know what this is because it wasn't in the original box. Somebody's license was though. What do you do when you find somebody's license in something you got at a thrift store? I mean, I'm going to take it to the DMV, but do you mail it to the DMV or do you drop it off at the DMV? Or do you mail it to the person? But she might not still live there. That's the thing. I don't know how old it is. And I think this is like the 25% cotton resume type paper. Just, I want to see how they mix with the colors that I want to use. Like I was first interested in, oh, I don't know, all the colors. Too many colors. But then I want to see how all these greens also. So yeah, I just kind of I went crazy and pulled out all or most of my distressed inks. Not the oxides, but the inks. So that I could, because those are the ones that you can get wet and do stuff with. And I may or may not have some in this Bessie box. That's archival. That's, who knows what that is. Just double checking in here, because I forgot to double check here a second ago. Or however long it was ago that I started playing with this. And that way I'm prepared and know which colors I like for Christmas and which ones I like for fall and all the things. So, you know, I might just start with vintage photo, which seems to be everybody's favorite for it doesn't really want to do anything right here though, does it? I'm actually gonna make some smaller ones just for the. Alright, so that's what it looks like on the white paper. And I'm more interested in the combinations on that, I think. And that's what it looks like on cream. See, and it depends on the paper too. So that was vintage photo. Oh, and all these napkins that we have so many of, we're just gonna. Alright, let's do the tea dye next. You know what? I haven't seen. I don't even know if they have it. I have the archival coffee, but I've never seen it in the distress inks. Is that what I'm trying to say? Yes, I've only seen it in the archival, right? Yeah. So that is the tea dye on cream. And now I just need a place to put these while they, and then we'll just get some of that up with that. Alright, that was tea dye. It's very interesting how I think they're both resume paper. I don't know. This feels like at least this feels like 20-pound paper, and this one feels like it could be 24, maybe 28, not quite 32 though. But and usually the resume paper only comes in 24 and 32 that I've seen. What's next? Well, I did not prepare to do these in the halves. I almost did, and then I didn't. But that's okay. I'm not quite sure where my ruler is, but that's not important. So we're just gonna do this. This is a quick way to tear when you don't have a tear ruler or a ruler on board. You just fold it in half and it comes close to ripping on that line. It's a little bit straighter than if you just rip it. Especially if I do it again. Oh, that should be good for now. Not perfect, obviously. think next we'll try the brushed corduroy. Stop. I know I have a fan on. It's cold out, but I get hot. It's just my face. I need a fan just for my face. So yeah, I was like, I opened up this box of paper that I got at the thrift store, and I'm like, there's like a copy of a license from the state she lived in before, I'm assuming, and a copy of a license for this state, and I'm just like, I can imagine that she looked and looked and looked and looked and never thought to look in there. I'm assuming she needed a copy for something. Sometimes you need them for your taxes or to get a job or whatever. All right, brushed corduroy. Ooh, that one's inky. Inky in the brain. So here we have brushed corduroy. And there it is on cream. And we will just set that together somewhere and use this to wipe up some. Is there any other brown type ones? Oh, ground espresso. That's the next one we'd want to try, right? And Nathan sugars. Well, they were 87. We have an alarm go off when they get down to when the sugars get down to under 100, the alarm starts going off. So he's not really low yet, but he's 87 last time I checked. And I also made sure the alarm wasn't going off, but of course it is. You know, this might go easier if I had my little dryer ready to go. Alright, so how's everybody doing? Nobody's finding anybody's licenses in their stuff today. That's good. Glad to hear it. I think we're going to start from lightest to, or I already have tea dye done. I have more than one tea dye because I'm not the only one that fell for it, I don't think, where it was the price of a big one. So I thought it was a big one, but it wasn't. It was a little one. It was an overpriced little one. It was basically someone was trying to, but now I know the 3x3 are the bigger ones. But they didn't say it was a mini one, so in my opinion, that was just wrong. It should say if it's a mini one. It should literally say mini. Yeah, it didn't. It didn't say mini anywhere. So now I know to look. That's a really, which is that one? Squeezed lemonade. Yeah, looks very lemony. Let's see. Very lemony. Shows up a little bit on that paper though. Alright, I don't have places to put all these, so forgive me. You're supposed to be able to emboss on this, so I should be able to get a little heat on there without it going crazy. And I don't want to have to leave all of them with it. So we've done the squeezed lemonade, and this is squeezed lemonade. Because I just want to know what they look like when they are watered down. You know what I mean? That's basically what I want to know. Okay, so there's our squeezed lemonade. This is our vintage photo, which everybody knows is VP, but alright, vintage photo. I find it interesting that it looks, I mean, I get that I got more on there, but even so, if I do some more of that doing something else, I might add a little more to that and see what happens. Oh, they're over there. Okay. And this is tea dye. just, it looks different depending on the paper. That's why I wanted to go ahead and brush corduroy. There we go. Next, now I can start piling them up, maybe up here. Oh, I should have done the antique linen. I mean, that's not going to show, but on the white it might. Why are my hairs everywhere? Whew. Yeah, this is definitely something you're going to want to watch at double speed, because otherwise it's going to get pretty boring. That looked darker than that, which it looks more like what I would think mustard seed. Now, and this is not an exact science because, I mean, a different amount's getting on each time. So it's not like the exact right amount every time is getting on there. Or, you know, it could be a little less water, a little more water. It's just me playing and experimenting. Can somebody please turn off one of the alarms? We have one less alarm going off. We know he's low. He ate something. I don't have as much Distress Oxide as I do Distress ink. But I've been playing with Distress inks lately. Especially in my art journal. So I wanted to, since I've been playing with them more, I wanted to have, what is this one? Mustard seed. Do you have faith of mustard seed? Is that 2 E's? Yes. And then I think that must be what it looks like. In fact, I might do a little edging on each one so I could see what the actual ink looks like as well. But not right now. I'm not going to make you watch me do that. That's just, oh, Scattered Straw is a little bit lighter. Scattered Straw is really light when you put it on paper. Got all the yellows on there. I could pause between each one. Just fast forward to 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1005, 1006. So yeah, if you fast forward like 20 to 30 seconds each time that I do this. This one was, which one was this one? Scattered Straw. It's really light. Hey, at least I'm writing in cursive, so I'm writing faster. This is like a fun little, I like playing with colors. Colors are fun. Also, I'm like such a, oh, I don't know, OCD, what? That I want to like get just the right colors for, I just really, the last art journal part thing that I made, I really liked how it came out. And I love the colors, but I don't have those colors in the Distress inks. And the permanent inks don't do what the Distress inks do as far as, you know, being able to add water and have them become almost like watercolors. Alright, fossilized amber. Fossil, F-O-S, I knew that. It is one of my favorite yellows. 2 L's. 2 L's? 1 L. I probably spelled it wrong over here. No, I spelled it right. Ha! Shocker. Next. Should we bother with the antique linen or not? Yeah, you can see it shows a little bit. Shows a little bit. Shows a little bit. I mean, it's good to see what it does, so when you mix it with other colors, you have a clue. Just add it to that. Oh, don't think I won't use these pages that I'm using over here to do the thing. Oh, this is ground. Let's see, while those dry for a second, I will just write ground espresso on these. 1S or 1S in the first part. 3 total. Ground espresso. Doesn't matter how I form that S, it always wants to sound like I'm saying espresso. Antique linen. That's hard to write on. It's hard to write on wet paper. Did not pick a good time to record. What are our sugars? Well, you guys get an idea of what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and pause, and then I'll show you the results. Wow, I can't believe how long that paused for. That took a while. Alright, I did all the colors that I could find. And you will see that there is a big difference between what the stamp is and what you get when you water it down. So this is the squeezed lemonade. This is on the white paper, and that is on the cream paper. And the scattered straw on the white and the cream. I had to staple them together, otherwise I was going to just lose them all. And here is the mustard seed. You can see, look at that big difference between when you add water and smoosh it on and the actual color of the stamp. And then I also I have a ripped edge and a not ripped edge on each one. And so I also edged each side just so that I would have an idea. So now I have kind of like this one's fossilized amber, a record, I guess. And then here's the wild honey. I just love the wild honey for some reason. I like it on both, but I really like it on the white. And look, the spiced marmalade. It's like so much different. That's cream. So the front's the white. The front, will try to make the front the white every time. And the rusty hinge. See, I love the rusty hinge. Well, if I use less water. If I use more ink and less water, most of the time I was like kind of putting 4 or 5 ink things down, except when it was a really light color, and 2 sprays. So I did start at least getting, not technical about it, that one's abandoned coral. But like sponge sugar, I had to do on that one like 8 times and still do the 2 sprays. And even then, you know, it's really hard to see. And the tattered rose as well. I did like 8 stampings on there and 2 sprays of water, and still that's all you can see. It actually shows up a little bit better, on the cream than the white. Isn't that weird? And the worn lipstick was not going to show up good no matter what I did, because that's the one that leaked everywhere. Look at this bright picked raspberry. That would have been a good one to have when I made my sister-in-law's journal. And festive berries. It's a little bit more red. This one I will probably be using in Christmas journals, I think. And I like this one for Christmas journals because I like the burgundy, but yeah, it looks a little bit too much like blood when you swatch it. And then the Victorian Velvet. Oops. This is the white. This is the cream. You can't even. But if you're going for subtle, these ones are the subtle ones. The milled lavender and the Victorian Velvet. And that one, I can't even see it on there. And then the shaded lilac. That one's also really subtle. We got more. I have a lot. I know there's one of my, I have my peacock feathers and my mermaid lagoon, but I'm pretty sure I have another like aqua teal one somewhere. This one's hickory smoke. and weathered wood. Big difference between the oxide and the ink for the weathered wood, because I actually have the oxide. Old paper. Now that, if you want to edge, can you see that at all? It does kind of look like old paper when you edge it. Iced spruce, which is pretty close to the blue-green color that is on the Target, little Target paper. So maybe a little bit less, more green than blue, but. And then bundled sage. See, really subtle in the, whoops. This is the white page in the front here. This one's more subtle when you water it down. Now the Twisted Citron came out better watered down than I thought it would. Wasn't quite as, because you see how it's like that. Excuse me. And then there's the edges. I'm not showing the edges. And there's the cracked pistachio, which I thought was going to be, I don't know what I thought it was going to be. Maybe it's pretty close to what it shows, I guess, on the cover as far as the colors. Don't know. Sometimes you can't tell by the cover of the color of the cover. And there's the evergreen bow and the pine needles. Now these papers are different weights. This is a cream color, this is white. I just was doing 2 random papers just so I could kind of have an idea of what, this is antique linen, of what they would look like on the paper, so that when I go to do something, I'm not like, whoa, that's not what I was expecting. This is the tea dye and the vintage photo, which, you know, between the white paper and the cream was a big difference. And also, after I was doing it for a while, I got a little better at, see, these ones were before that, but I think still it, oh, sorry, the white. The white's supposed to be towards me. The ground espresso. Hold on, I'll show you what I mean. This is the white. So I would ink down, like, you know, my 4 inks, and spray 2 times. And then I would take 2 pages. I'm going to go ahead and leave that way like that. Anyway. And I would put one on one side and one on the other. So it's not a perfect science. And then I would kind of alternate back and forth to try to get as even as a color as I could. And if you can see, it does totally different on book page, because the book page is totally different texture. Especially that. That's a, I don't know if it's vintage. It's an older book. So here is Chipped Sapphire. Really like it that on the cream. A little bit more subtle on there. And the Blueprint Sketch. The Mermaid Lagoon. See how much more subtle it is on that cream? And let's see, I've got a few more here. There's the Peacock Feathers, and this was it on the book page. So the paper that you put it on makes a big difference. But these mostly, I wanted to see the difference between watered down and the original color is why. It's mostly why I did these. But I also wanted to see them on the different colored pages. And then I also know that the paper I use will make a difference as well. So, do I know which colors I want to do on this collage that I started? No, especially since it's this. Although I'm thinking some Mermaid Lagoon and some gathered twigs. And where's my rusty hinge? I kind of saved out all of my that's under the mark pink, and do maybe the rusty hinge and the spice, some orange and blue and brown is what I'm thinking. Just for, in fact, I can go ahead and do a little practice run with these pages, because what I collaged with is these pages. So I'm just going to do a couple of this, well, 3, and some of the rusty hinge, which I'll put, I don't know why I'm making them so far apart, honestly. And then the gathered twigs, probably a lot of brown. And then just want some hints of the Blue Lagoon, Mermaid Lagoon. Mermaid Lagoon. Where's my spray? And I'd sprayed a lot more water than I did on the other things, I think. Okay, here's my problem. I've got them too separated. I should have done them closer together. I'm going to do that. And that is cool. Okay, whoops. And let me do this. And let me come back over here. Also cool. So I already have the brown in there. So if my orange and blue make brown, it's okay. I can do that. That can happen. Kind of tempted to just, well, let me get this kind of cleaned up here. And then oh, that's so cool. Isn't that cool? I love it. I love playing with these. This is why Andrea gets so excited and plays with stuff like this all the time. So that has 2 of the colors. Now it's a mess. I'm okay with that. Let's see. Let's just clean it up with some of this white paper here. And then if I were to dry it between, let's try it. Let's try it. I'm going to dry it real quick. Over here, away from the wet spots. And then I can dip it again. And burn my leg. See, now they're a little too muddy. Now if I were to clean that up and put on some fresh color, it would be pretty cool. But I'm not far off with what I want with that. I want kind of a fall look with a so now I know mistake was I want a fall look with some teal type colors. So I might, where'd the peacock go? I might do a tiny bit of peacock, we'll see. Now what I found with this one before, what was happening is it was turning purple with those colors. Isn't that weird? I don't know. Alright, so there's my book. All my collage should be dry now, and I'm upside down. Seriously, why do I always want to open this upside down? So I've collaged this page. It's mostly book page, which I consider junk because it was in the free bin and the cover was ripped off, and it would have got thrown out. There's millions of those. It was The Hobbit, so there's millions of those books. Although what's nice about it is there's some of the font is thicker in some pages than other pages, and then you also have some of the italicized parts in it. But I did add a couple pieces of scrapbook paper too. I am trying to figure out a good way to do a collage for a cover that a beginner could do. Somebody who hasn't even gone looking for supplies yet. Now we do have some people that they want to make a journal. They've been collecting supplies, just haven't made a journal yet. Seems to be a thing. I'm trying to think of how long it took me to make an actual journal. Well, I started out by making like a flow journal. I haven't decided how I'm going to bind these yet. I might even start with a flow journal because you don't even have to have an awl for that. And with the collage pages, it will be thick enough that it can handle the string, baker's twine, embroidery thread, whatever you do. Alright, so I want to get some more color on here. But I kind of want to have some control too. So now that I did all this test, I think I'm going to start with my lightest color. And I'm going to spray that a couple times. And I'm going to find my diaper pads, whatever these toilet seat pad thingies. And I can make it smaller. I have the other material too, but I kind of want to do this. And then I'm going to use that so I have a little bit more control over where I put it, because I don't really want it on this, and I don't really need it on this bit either. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then right on top of that, I can go ahead and put my rusty hinge, because it has those orange tones in it. And now, because I'm using the diaper thing, it won't matter that I also want this to kind of be right next to some of the, what was the other color I used? Or did I forget to use the other color? This is all rusty hinge, isn't it? I meant to use some marmalade. All right, let's stick some marmalade in there. That was supposed to be my lighter color. I was wondering why it was all looking exactly the same. So now when I do it like this, I'll be able to put in my oranges and browns, and then I can dry it if I want to. Now you'll see in here, I have them sideways, upside down, all different ways for the collage. Look at that's kind of, I love how that's getting on the edge like that. Let's see. Can I do that with this? Nope, because my book's too big. Oh, here we go. Just kind of want to get this page down. Picking up some of that wet on the edge especially, because I just like the way this orange looks here, that rusty hinge. So I'm going to try to do it. Of course I got too much stuff in the way, right? Also, it's a good way to clean up some of it. Okay. And then, since my next color is brown, and orange and brown can be, there's my gathered twigs. So I did the spiced marmalade, some rusty hinge, and now some gathered twigs. And I'm just going to use the same, don't want the soft side, I want the weird side. Okay, and then because I don't want my blues to turn brown, I'm going to go ahead and dry this a little bit and clean that up there for the most part anyway. Where's my, there it is. I would think 1/8 or 1/6. Did you look it up? Did you look up what the carbs were for the and how much the slice was? I go by grams. That's easier. That's more accurate, probably. As long as you're not only doing the inside, because what?
Why do they do that?
What? Why do what? Do what?
I don't know. 4 muffins are 53 carbs.
They don't do it twice?
4 muffins are 53 carbs.
How? Because one is 27.
Hmm?
Which muffins?
12 count chocolate chip muffins.
What 12 count? Are they mini?
I don't know. I'm looking at the bottom of the pie.
Oh, they always do that. What is it with Harris Teeter and putting the wrong labels on their bakery items? I mean, we get them for free, so... So he's got pecan pie and it says chocolate chip muffins. Alright, and then I'm going to mix a little both of this because one's too green and one's too blue. So this is how I'm going to get my color I want. And hopefully not get the other color in on my pad. And then I'm going to use a fresh one of these. Otherwise my blue and brown and orange and whatnot will turn. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to, just kind of getting blobs of that color on there. I want more Mermaid Lagoon. There we go. Alright, was that the one I was just using? See, I guess it must be.
It's a 12-pound chocolate chip muffin label.
So a little bit more right there. Yeah, that paper takes it much differently too, doesn't it? Alright, now, I don't want to waste that. Let's just put some of that on there with that pink stuff that I had put on there at one point. I guess. I don't know. Wipe it up anyway. Make sure that's all up because I'm going to lay my... So this is so that you can see the difference that made between just the book pages and now the different colors and adding a little teal in there for some fun.
How much for these, by the way?
I did half of it, probably only about 6 for that.
Okay.
There's a package to look on for that.
For 2 ounces, this is a cup?
Okay, did you weigh it?
No.
Can you get the other cup and tear it and weigh, see how much that
Well, there's 8
subtracts?
servings, 2 ounces and 8 servings. How much is this?
Well, it was a half a container?
I don't know.
Did you get the container that was already open or the one that was not open?
Already open, and I had about like possibly a bit more than what in that.
Alright, I just guessed, well, I don't know because you were low, so we'll just say 20.
2 ounces or 5 pounds.
2 ounces is 5 cards. 2, 4, 6, 8. So if it's 8 ounces, that'll be 20.
That would be half of a full container.
Yeah, that's probably about half of a full container. Daddy didn't eat a whole half. But now I won't be able to tell. Yeah, you were supposed to have. Okay, where was I? He's perplexing me. He's totally perplexing me. I don't know what I want to do. Do you know what I want to do? I don't have a plan going into this. I might have thought I had a plan, but no plan. And I might do a little bit of texture paste, which is opaque, so it will show through a little bit. Here it is. I was like, I just had. But I just want to do some of these bits. I don't want all the in-between bits. I just want the bits. Just want the, yeah. Which some of the other bits came through, but that's alright. And I didn't go all the way to the edge of the page. Couldn't tell you why.
Also,
Really don't know.
when you do that.
Just want a little bit up there. Of course, I now realize I probably did not go straight. Well, maybe. There we go. A few up here, a few down here. That's it. That's all I want. That makes me happy. Okay. Take some of these napkins that I realize I will never be able to use in a lifetime. Well, the only reason I have that many, oops, I should have done that on the thing. The only reason I have that many napkin backs, if you saw my last video, you saw a giant bag of them, is because I sent people in a group some napkins. Wasn't a swap or anything. So I said, you know, people, I felt bad for the people who had no napkins and were, you know, seeing all the people put up their pictures of their napkin swaps and all excited. And I'm like, oh my goodness, these poor people that have no napkins can't even swap because they have no napkins. So I said, if you have no napkins and you want some napkins, tell me and I will send you napkins. And therefore, napkins were sent. Now, I think I want to use, but, you know, I'm doing this, you know, out of the kindness of my own heart. I already paid for the napkins and I paid for the shipping. So I was trying to decrease shipping some Why'd I do that? It's not what I wanted to do. You know why? Because I want to use the brush. I always want to use the brush. I don't like that. What did I use on that? I don't know, but some of it will come through. And it will be... Oh, yeah. I should have done... Hold on. No. I'll just have to not do anything wet on here, I guess. This is wild honey. Going for some wild honey. But I probably still had some of the other colors from the other day on that brush. Do you think maybe I like... What is this called? Harlequin? Harlequin and Damask are some of my favorite things to use. I just like the look of them, but I've noticed a lot of people do, so it can't just be me, because I mean, if you look at the Stamperia paper, they use a lot of Harlequin, and a lot of people use Damask. People just like it. Is it dry yet? No, I smushed it though. I wanted to put a little right here. The only way that's gonna happen, and before I squish any more, dropping my water upside down. That's nice. And we know they're not dry because they're still white. Alright, I kind of feel bad for that one. I wonder if there's any way to fix it. Probably not. Woo! I got a little close. It's trying to do the weird thing. But yeah, you see that one is just about dry. You can almost see through it. And these are squished. They're so sad. I'm going to puff them up. They puff up with the heat gun for some reason. They don't like the heat so much. They kind of look cool though. They puff up and look kind of cool. They raise up a little bit. You'd think they'd be dry by now, but they're still pretty white, so... And they're supposed to... I might have got too much on there, maybe. They're supposed to look more like that one. Oh, I also wanted to try... Let's see, let me find a brush. Do I want one of these brushes? Or do I want a brush I use a lot? I don't know what I want. That's a watercolor brush, which is fine. But the thing about these brushes, what are they? Daler, Rowley? I don't know. Or at least one of them I was using. Maybe it was just that one. This one, the hairs come out. The 3/4 inch, whatever that is. The hairs just come out all over the place. It's frustrating. Alright. Now, are these dry enough that I can do this that I wanted to do over here? Okay. Now, I want to take some of this wild honey and get it just a tiny bit wet. Oh, well, we'll just take that water. I need more water and more color, I guess. I'm trying to use the ink like watercolor. I don't know if it'll work. Especially since my brush wasn't wet to begin with. Except for I wanted it to go more. I wanted it to drip more and not be just on it. Nah, it's not working. But it's not doing something terrible either. Try to get some of that water there and make it look kind of like drippy off the side a little bit. Almost look like honey is dripping off the side a little bit, maybe. I don't know. This paper does weird things. It's the thing when you're using book page, you never know what's going to happen, do you? Because especially if it's old book page. Just doing down here what I was doing up there if you can't see me. Which generally you can't see me when I'm over here. Alright, so I just did all that honey on the left side. Now I'm thinking in my head. I need to think in my heart. I'm doing art. Do I want to add, what do I want to add? What do I need? A little more red? I don't have a lot of red, do I? What if, go ahead and edge my pages. And I think that was, because I want, if I'm going to use, this is aged mahogany. If I use aged mahogany, I want it to be the really dark aged mahogany and not the, not watered down looking like blood aged mahogany. You know what I'm saying? Give these a little color. Try not to get down in the crevices. Just want to be up on the little damask bits. I didn't want them being too white. There we go. My son mumbles. Don't know where he gets this talking to himself from. I can't imagine. So there. I don't know if I want to put a, I don't know what I want to put as, like, if I want to put a saying or a picture. Let's see, I had a fall. Hello. There's hello. Where'd the pumpkins go? Fall. There's this, but I need to rip it down quite a bit. Let's see. And it's really white, so also, even though it's been fall for a while, we may or may not keep the hello. We may just do the pumpkins, which, even if I want to do hello fall, or just fall, I still can separate my pumpkins. Alright, what did I use in this? I used the aged mahogany, and I used the rusty hinge and the gathered twigs. That's what I was trying to think of. Here they are. It's a little bit of a dark, but I'm okay with that. So if you wanted your brown to have a green tinge, then rusty hinge might be the way to go. Because it does seem to have just a little bit of a green tinge in it. Because, you know, gathered twigs, you've got some green going on in there, right? Where is my brush? Brush. And if you add a little bit of that honey to it, you get a weird, kind of fun, weird color, huh? Figure that out in a minute. See if I want fall on here. Well, if I do, I can write it myself. I don't know that that's what I want. I don't know. I do like this. Somewhere on here, possibly. See, I'm upside down. What happens there? Could even put it up there. Floating. Floating in the sky. I have a hard time with floating in the sky, apparently. I don't know what to write or what to say. Let's see. Be inspired, lady. Come on. Show a little inspiration. Or spiders. Oh, let's see. We do have spiders, but that's next time, because I have the spider poem from The Hobbit, which is fun. Or we have a lot of black on here, and I don't have any black going on, so I could use. Hey, my black suit is missing. Yeah, oh well. Such is life. Oh, what's over here? Hey, that's the broken china. That's the other one I wanted to look at. So, yeah, that's the... Do something with that. Oh, maybe we'll do this in broken china. It's not the same as what we already have, but kind of in the middle. And this is just a broken flourish over here. That I don't know why I keep putting the cover back on there. It came with a set with my whatchamacallums. It came with my some words, script, and yeah, see, this is like kind of in between the peacock and the mermaid lagoon, the broken china. Just giving it a little bit of a little more interest, right? Sure, why not? Now I'm gonna do like our lovely Tina and just go choop, choop. Well, she doesn't do the she doesn't do the sounds though, just so you know. That's just me, but she likes to use a flourish. We like that. And so she just kind of uses a part of the flourish and goes around putting it wherever she wants to. Ooh, it kind of looks cool on top of the blue. How do I do that some more? Oof. I really like it on the blue. There we go. We'll put some more on the blue. There we go. Can't have too many flourishes, right? Wish I could have this bottom not be quite so flat. Sure, if I just totally break my pumpkin, I can. Well, I don't know. Okay, turn. And we're turning the page as we cut. And we're trying, oh, fast forward 30 seconds. You don't want to watch this. Although, I think you never know. Everyone's different. There may be people out there who like to watch people fussy cut. Who knows? I mean, there's people out there that like to watch people eat food. Takes all kinds. Oh, this white pumpkin will stand out more now. Especially if I ink it. Just a little bit. With what? I don't know. Possibly... Boy, whoever drew that really likes their bent over leaves. I think I might have cut off one of their bent over leaves. It's alright. I'm not even gonna cut that one. There. That's what I need, specks. Little black specks, little brown specks. What color specks should I do? Let's see. This pumpkin's just gonna be a little flatter than how we started. That's all. Oh, look. Just adding some trash on here. See, that's all I needed to do was cut it out. Cut it out. I don't even know what color I'm using right now, honestly. It's one of the colors that was on this sponge. Can't even really see it. Maybe it's... might be the wild honey, actually. Hard to say. There we go. It shows up a little bit more on this side. But what else? I want more. But there's more. Is there though? More to this life. Oh, living and dying. I might make it a tab though. Put it on the tab over here. There's no sunflowers on here. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. Well, for now, I'm going to put this on here. And if I come up with some grand thing to say, I'll let you know. Maybe I'll put it in the screenshot that goes in the please watch me part of the video. Good. Now I don't feel like I have to put it at the bottom of the page now. Although I don't really want it right. Okay, it's not right in the middle. Right in the middle would be here. He's to the left, just a little bit. I kind of want some grungy lace for over here. But I kind of also like that it's like the book page showing. Is that weird? So, yeah, and it kind of balances out on this side. So, yeah, that's my page for today. Nothing really special. It's just a background right now. Something may end up here. Wait, I just saw some quotes. Where are my quotes? No, I didn't see them. I imagined them. I must have imagined them. Wait, what's this one? Oh, it's purple. Stay close to anything that makes you glad you're alive. Actually, that one, if it wasn't purple, works kind of nice for the fall. Makes me feel happy to be alive, right? Oh my goodness. Don't you hate when you finally find a die and then you drop it on the floor and roll over it with your chair? Oh, I knew that was going to happen. I just knew it. Alright, it's safe now. Oh my goodness.
The 20, not 200. You have 120, it regenerates over time.
I wonder.
Oh, okay. Basically,
yeah, I'll use that next time. Remind me to use this sometime. Also, sometime soon, I'm going to be using some masking paper, which I finally got. So, one of these things soon is going to be such fun.
Like, you know,
do you think, I'm always saying to Gail, add some vintage photo.
Or if you want a rainbow wood,
well, I would if I could find the vintage photo. Where's my vintage photo? Just trying to think.
At a time.
T.
But it will come back.
Brushed Polaroid. Oh. Vintage photo. Alright. I'm just going to see if I can tone this down a little bit. Where's... Make it a little less purple and a little more red maybe, because I kind of like the saying that is there. Oh, we're not keeping the don't worry, we're not keeping the roses. The roses are incongruent. Oh, we might keep that number 5 though. It would look at that, see? So if I put a number 5 over there, and See, anytime I take this dress off and say I'm going to be done, that's when my brain is like, no, you can do this. Hafiz, actually I'm going to take his name off of there, or her name. I don't know who Hafiz is. But I still want the, well, H-A-F-E-Z. We're just going to write them really tiny at the bottom here. H-A-F-E-Z. That's who wrote the book.
No, I'm swapping the frame in the corner.
I want...
Yes.
I'm not watching this journey.
This is just napkin.
Trying to trick you. I
Just kind of
accidentally wound up.
could be interesting, that's all. Because it's got like this design on it and stuff, which is kind of fun. But really what I wanted was cheesecloth. And I just saw it a second ago. Cheesecloth. The cheesecloth. I did send some of this
I think they
to
had
Scotland
an episode.
because I remember the gal I swapped with in England said cheesecloth is really expensive over there. So there's that. So I figured if it was expensive in England, it's probably expensive in Scotland too. I don't know. I know they're not the same place. They're in the UK though. I'm doing my Tina and I'm really ripping this thing right to bits. But I don't want it right in the middle. We don't want stuff right in the middle. That's, what's the word, static? Oh, also we want to...
The discount one was like you can only
Well,
do 20 times.
now you've seen pretty much what I'm doing. I don't think I'm going to do much else. And I'm not going to tell my boys to stop talking. So I hope you all have a delightful day.
Like I think the only
And
difference is,
even
like,
though it is 9:22 at night for me.
there's not much difference.
So have a delightful day, everybody. Much
You
love.
are guaranteed a 4-star every time. It's slightly easier to track the TV time. And also, like, I don't know.
Ode to Tina all over this with the flourishes and the one of her numbers. This was blank up here. It needed something. Do I have two layers? Stay. See, when I put the vintage photo on it, brought it closer to the burgundy. Because Gail had some really bright, I think it was the, I don't know, some really bright orange she didn't love. I don't know, maybe it was the orange marmalade. I don't know. I'm going for real this time because it's been over an hour. I need to go. That's from my porch press. No, it's not. It's from Antique Paper Radio.